Packer and Durham, it's a Wednesday. Wes, our first guest, makes his debut in really more ways than one. Not only on the show, but he also made another debut over the weekend because he's back. We talk about those Pitt Panthers, man. That defensive front is salty and nasty and tough. And Rashad Weaver joins us. Rashad, first of all, man, congratulations. I know it had to feel good getting back on the field after everything you've been through. And, man, did you make an impact on Saturday?
Yes, sir. I mean, it was everything I've been talking about. And me and Keyshawn Camp, we lived together. It was everything we've been talking about from the day that we've been out. And, to go out there and get the win and then have a pretty good performance along with it just makes it feel better. And you feel good starting off the year. And you feel like you can build off of that every week and become what you want to become.
Rashad, what were you thinking leading up to last Saturday? Because, your 2019 got stopped before it really ever got started, and I know Keyshawn was gone after a couple of ball games as well. The long road back, the payoff, everything you thought it would be when you got back on the field?
Definitely. It was kind of like what Coach Dew just said to me yesterday, kind of remind everybody who I was. 2018, in my opinion, I had an all right season. My skill set just wasn't there, but people were pretty high on me, and I put in a lot of work before I got hurt. And I knew after I got hurt that the work was still put in, and I would just pick up from there once I was able to move around how I could, which I think I did. There was some stuff that I wasn't used to for not playing that long, but I think I picked up all right, and I just plan to be better each week, which will get me to where I really want to be at the end of the year.
Rashad, you guys have so many guys up front on that defensive line, not to mention my main man, Paris Ford, in the back. Before a game starts, so whether it be Louisville this week, Syracuse last week, whatever the case may be, do you guys have a conversation amongst yourselves about, hey, you know what, we only got 7 sacks last week, let's go for 9 this week, I'm going to get 3, you get 2. What is the conversation amongst you guys before a game? Because your defensive line is going to dictate the tempo of a football game.
Definitely. We know that. We feel like we say every time we come in a room, we want everybody to feel us. We should be the guys that when we walk on the field, everybody's looking at, and they know they have to go against us. And we like to compete, and we want to be great out there, but we always want sacks and stuff, but we know each game what you're going to get. This is the type of game where this is a big TFL game for us. So that's our goal, and sacks will come. You just got to know what the game plan is and the opponent you're playing and what you can do to impact the game. And I think that's the best thing about us. We know what we need to do to make the team win and get stuff done.
Rashad, there was all sorts of hype in June and July when we thought this thing would start on time and it would go smoothly. There was a lot of hype about a lot of other teams, and you guys have collectively kind of flown under the radar a little bit through this. And now that you've gotten the season underway and you're 2-0, and here's a big ball game Saturday against Louisville, who had a very difficult loss last Saturday night. Is there a change in mindset week to week, given kind of how short this season is and yet how much you have to go through to get to Saturday to play?
I don't think so. I think, we've always been an underdog and we're kind of tired of it. Want to be the big dog, and to do that, you just got to keep winning. And, it's good to have a top 25 matchup, and I think we'll take full advantage of it if we do what we're supposed to do. And I think it's time for people to realize that this team is legitimate, and you only do that by winning and winning convincingly. So that's our plan every week.
Rashad, I want you to do an impersonation for me. Can you handle that this early in the morning? Are you up for it?
Possibly. It depends who it is. If I'm going to get in trouble, I don't know.
No, you're not going to get in trouble because I'm not going to ask for any names here. I want you to describe and make the noise of the best hit you've ever had. It could be on a running back, a quarterback, whatever the case may be, that you knew that, I laid this dude out. And the noise and sound that you heard, what did it sound like?
Of the person I hit? Yes.
Yeah.
It's normally followed by words that we're not allowed to say.
See, you're not going to get in trouble for that. I didn't ask you who it was because I know you've done it enough. But, the National Player of the Week on the defensive side, for Pitt to get one of those, man, for the first time since a guy by the name of Aaron Donald, that's got to bring a smile to everybody's face, right? That's what you guys work for.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's what me and Coach Partridge talked about, everything. I put in the work for recovery-wise plus technique-wise. It felt great, and the best part was me and Coach Partridge both knew there were things I could clean up, and there was a lot more plays I could have made out there. I easily, when turning on the film, could have had 2 more sacks just by clearing my backside arm. That type of stuff is just what drives me, and I just want to be better each week. So if that's what I could do off of this weekend, it's a blessing, and I hope I just keep getting better and practicing hard like I plan on it, and maybe I'll be able to get it again, but that's never my goal. The goal is just to win and be better each week, and if we do that, then, like I said, I'll get to where I want to be at the end of the year, whether that's getting a ring or money in my bank account.
It's nice.
All right, Rashad Weaver is the talented defensive end from Pittsburgh and a guy from Cocoa, Florida here. I want to make sure I get all this put together here.
Cooper City.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cooper City. The idea here about 17, we know defensive linemen crave single digits, but you wear 17. How did 17 find Rashad Weaver?
Sheesh. I think when I was younger, I played quarterback from Little League all the way up to my sophomore year of high school, and sophomore year was the first year I ever played defense. And I switched to defensive line, and I also played tight end that year, and I thought 80 was a cool number for tight end, so I wore that all high. It was a terrible choice looking back, but I thought that was cool in high school. And then when I got to Pitt, I thought I would just take it back to the roots and wear 17. And growing up, a different school was always one of my favorite schools, just watching football. I never really watched that much football or had a team, so I kind of liked a certain team, and they always had a defensive player on the line with 17 on, so I thought I would just go back to what I wore when I was younger, and it was also a number I always noticed.
Speaking of unis and numbers, I made the comment yesterday, probably got in hot water with this. You guys are going with the alternative look this week, and I mentioned in the city of Pittsburgh, if you come rolling in there with silver and black, those colors are normally not accepted, but you got a new look this weekend. Break down your new uniform this weekend against Louisville.
I mean, we love it. It's something we've been talking about and asking Coach Deuce for, I know the 2016 class before, since I was on an official visit here, and they had pictures of it and ideas of it, but never did it. And I think nowadays schools and players love a black or darker colored uniform. It's just a switch up, The colors, our new colors now, which some people call the retro colors, but are our colors now, we love, and we'll be wearing them plenty this year. But these uniforms, to throw them on two times or so this year, will be fun. And I think when you go out there and win in them, it'll be great to see on TV. And I think when a lot of times with uniforms, when the whole team's out there, they look a lot better. So maybe you'll like them after Saturday.
Rashad, let me tell you something. It does not matter what Packer thinks about the jersey. I mean,
right.
If you and by the way, Patrick Jones has been on the show. We've had a lot of guys. Paris Ford's his all-time favorite player.
My favorite player.
He talks about, but he's got a crush. He's got a crush on Paris Ford. It's a fan crush, and it's cool. We're good with it. But here's the deal: if y'all don't like what Packer says, next time you see him, just y'all can tackle him. It's okay.
Yeah. Let me tell you what. Hey, Rashad, let me tell you what, though. If I see you coming after me or that defensive front or my man Paris Ford, I will run a faster 40 than you did to make this interview on time this morning.
Hey, I did run across. I ran across the parking lot this morning. I'm not going to lie. But
one more thing. It's one thing when you see Culpepper and DeVito back there, normally in the pocket. This week, Malik Cunningham can run, got great skill. As a pass rusher, you tell me, do you like the guy standing back there in the pocket where you say, listen, I got my sights on him? Or is it more difficult when you get a guy like Cunningham that can get out of the pocket and make big plays?
I mean, it's always more difficult. You see that from college level all the way up to the NFL when you see those maybe older quarterbacks in the NFL that stay in the pocket and will just kind of take the sack versus those young guys that run all over the field. This guy is an athlete. He could go play a slot receiver if he had to, and he's a freak, and he can throw on the run. And then their scheme, they do a lot of play actions, and their O-line's good at making their pass blocks look like runs. So you just got to be able to bottle them up, and if you do your technique and have good eyes, you'll be able to bottle them up and get some good QB hits. I'm not sure how many sacks you'll get. They've only allowed 4 on the season, but we should be able to sneak a few in there. But our main goal is just to keep him inside the pocket so he can't stretch plays out and make him have to make good throws in the pocket down the field.
I'll tell you what, Wes, you can already tell Pat and the guys have already schooled up these guys. They already have a game plan. They know what this is going to be a big game. Wes is going to be on the call, so you're going to see Wes front and center on Saturday. But before we let you go, though, a traditional question, Rashad. The hardest class you've had at Pitt is what?
So they told me to be prepared for this. The thing is, the hardest class I ever had, I don't even remember the name of.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just bragged about how you've done your homework. You got to figure it out with a game plan. And you know this is coming, and you give me a stiff arm? You give me the Heisman pose?
I'm trying to think. It was this past semester. Honestly, not. It was a business class. I was a business major, honestly, but it wasn't in my major. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I honestly do not remember. But I could give you the next one. Was Intro to Finance.
Now, wait a minute. Let me tell you something. You drove it 85 yards on 18 plays, and you just fumbled on the 2-yard line, Rashad. I'm disappointed in you.
I folded.
We wish you the best, man.
It was in the spring, and the virus happened, so I didn't finish the class, which kind of saved me.
All right, I'm gonna give you a pass on this. All right, but I tell you what, it's great to have you back playing because I know this is what you love to do, and you're a big time player, part of that great defense. Can't wait to watch it.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.